as I promised you, we're going to taste some of these wines, and we're going to see how they are and their characteristics. First of all, we go for our white wine. Is Roero Arneis. The sub-region is Roero, which is on the other side of the river Tanaro from the Langhe region. Langhe and Roero are quite close together, but they are very, very different. The Roero is a younger land, so it gives more perfumed and fresh wines. And this is why Arneis, which is the grape that we have here today, thrives and grows very, very, very happily in this land. Roero is it's unlike many other white wines, even Italian wines. It is very special. White Piedmontese wines are usually quite gentle, but with a nice aroma. They are clean, they are fresh, and this especially is very crisp, very, very interesting, because the grape, the Arneis grape, has a very thick skin, so we can say that it has white tannins. So it is very exciting to match with, not only with the usual fish and seafood, but also with white meat. And I invite you to try it because it's very interesting. It's fairly aromatic, but not boring like a few others aromatic grapes. It's very pleasurable, and it's very good also for aperitifs. It's not too alcoholic, and it has a little bit of pear and a light touch of tropical fruit. It's wonderful for the summer, but also for aperitif all year long. I would like to move on to the Barbera Monferrato. So Barbera is a super classic grape in Italy. It's planted not only in Piedmont but in other regions. It's a wonderful grape. In the past, it was a little bit neglected, but I think that in the last 10 years, Barbera has become a point of reference for many winemakers and producers. This one in particular is planted. It grows in the Monferrato area, which is west of the Langhe, and it's a very, very different land from the Langhe region, because it's a land, it's cold land. The microclimates are very different from ours. When I say ours, I'm talking about the Langhe because I live in Barolo. But the perfumes and the elegance that you can appreciate in the wines from the Monferrato is very special. I don't think you can see it really because I'm a little bit far, but the color of this Barbera is amazing. This is 100% Barbera, and is made in steel, no wood, and this is to preserve the perfumes because the bouquet of the Barbera is quite exceptional. Red berries, dark fruits, and it has heaps of elegance, nice and round. It is a someone would say an everyday wine, but I believe that. Yes, it is. It is true because, well, not an everyday wine, but a wine for the whole day, I would say. But it has a beautiful bouquet of fruits de bois, wild berries. Is quite exceptional. There is one thing to be said for this Barbera Maraia. it was noted by more than one journalist. As a matter of fact, we got a 90% Wine Spectator point, which for a Barbera that is stainless steel Barbera is not bad at all. It maintains the natural acidity of the Barbera grape, but with a lovely elegance. So it's perfect for your pasta dishes, especially with mushrooms and perhaps cream. Now we go on to the Nebbiolo and Langhe side. We have a Barbaresco and a Barolo. The Barbaresco is a 2010. It's our traditional Barbaresco, Barbaresco La Tradizione, as we call it. 2010 was a wonderful year. It's 100% Nebbiolo, of course, and it spends more than 1 year in wood and then 1 year in the bottle. It is also a 92 Robert Parker points, which helps because it's always very pleasurable to have received this kind of attention from a magazine that is so strict with the words. And here, obviously, we start feeling all the standard and exceptional characteristic of the Nebbiolo grape when it spends a little time in wood. Wild roses, a little bit of leather, a little bit of tobacco, and dried fruit, and a little bit of in this one especially a little bit of red fruit, jammy red fruit. It's hyper elegant, like I have to say all the Marchesi Di Barolo wines, because for us it's very important to give pleasure to whoever get close to our wine and tries them. Our wines are usually quite clean, very balanced, traditional, but with great elegance and personality. This one is no exception. It's quite unbelievable. In the nose is fabulous, and it's quite persistent in the mouth. With beautiful tannins that blend perfectly well with the acidity. It's a wine that you can keep for 10 years. It will develop, it will evolve, so it's good fun. If you manage to not to drink it, it's quite interesting to see how it evolves. I personally never managed to keep it because I tend to like and drink this wine. The last one is a single vineyard, very famous. It's Cannubi. Cannubi is a hill in Barolo, right in the middle of the two geological plates of the Langhe. One which is 5 million years old, and the other one that is 50 million years old. They clashed right on the hill of Cannubi. On the side of this hill, there is the village of Barolo. Cannubi is an amazing land. It's also, unfortunately, very expensive. It's not that large, and our production is obviously very, very limited. In the range of the 20-something thousand bottles on a good year, if we don't lose grapes, obviously. The vineyard is 50 years old. It gives unbelievable grapes. We have done this single vineyard for more than 30 years, and it's nearly every vintage is fantastic. The 2008 is very, very nice. It's obviously awarded 90 plus points by more or less all the magazines in the world, the specialists. Obviously 100% Nebbiolo, 2 years, but and I can say 2.5 because it tends not to be ready that quickly. In wood, Slavonian oak usually. Exceptional wine, wonderful single vineyards, very characteristic again of the Marchesi philosophy of making wines very, very elegant. Heaps of elements here, very complex wine, exceptional for any evening, to be perfectly honest. Beautiful balance, tannins that blend perfectly well with the freshness, the crispness. This wine is very much alive. He loves to be in the glass. It's, to be perfectly honest, it's an exceptional, very, very, very balanced, enjoyable wine. Just the last word on the family that runs Marchesi Di Barolo, the family Abbona, Ernesto and Anna, and the daughter Valentina and Davide. Incredible people that live above the winery. Is the 5th generation, is quite incredible. They live and work in the winery. It's a pleasure to host all our visitors, and if you happen to be in Barolo or around the Langhe area, come and visit us. It's quite an experience. You can see a piece of winemaking Italian history. Thank you.